Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to make this yummy beans. Like these beans is with that red oil. I'm going to show you the magic, guys, and it tasted so delicious, so delicious, guys. So now let's get to the ingredients. So the ingredients I'm going to be using are, you're going to be needing some crayfish, some salt. In there I have 2 onions and bell peppers, some ripe plantain, beans. You can use black eye beans. I'm using brown one, and I'm also going to be using some thyme and rosemary, and that is dry pepper, some cube of your choice, and 2 fresh tomatoes. So these are the ingredients I'm going to be using, guys. Now let's get to the cooking. So first thing first, I'm going to wash that beans. Can you see the color? I'm going to wash them with the clean water, then I'll bring you back. So I'm done washing the beans of the sink of the camera. Now I'm going to add everything into my cooking pot. So I'm going to add water to be at the same level with the beans. This water, I'm going to be taking them off the moment they started boiling. So put the lid on and bring that beans to boil. The beans is cooking. I'm going to go ahead now to cook my bell pepper. I love to, I don't have a specific time to make this pepper. I just put them over the heat with a little water. The moment it started boiling, I take them out of the heat. And this gives my beans beans or soup very unique color, and it tastes so good. So I'm going to put the lid on now and bring that pepper to boil. So the pepper, as you can see, I just took them out of the heat. Now it's time to blend them. So I'm going to be blending that pepper with 1 onion. You can add garlic or any other ingredients of your choice, okay? So back to the beans. As you can see, the beans is boiling now. I'm going to take out that, and while you are taking out this, make sure you have hot water ready to replace the one you are taking off the beans. So I'm going to add my hot water inside the beans to be at the same level with the beans again. Put the lid on and allow them to cook for a couple of minutes, or allow the water to dry halfway before adding the onion I'm using. I'm going to be adding half onion. So as you can see, I'm adding just half of the onion I'm using. Put the lid on and allow that beans to cook, because the beans takes time to cook. So while the beans is cooking, I'm going to start making the pepper sauce. So over there, I'm adding vegetable oil. I didn't show you guys the vegetable oil earlier. Yes, I'm going to be using vegetable oil for this recipe. Allow the oil to heat up before adding the onion. So now I'm adding the onion, and I'm going to season that onion with my thyme and rosemary, and allow them to cook until the onion is well sauteed. So the onion have been cooking for a couple of minutes. It's time to add our blended peppers inside the onion. So I'm going to allow the peppers to cook for 10 minutes. So while the pepper is cooking, I'm going to be seasoning them with my crayfish, half of the crayfish I'm using, and some cubes, salt, paprika. Paprika helps to bring out the color, because we're not using red oil for this. The paprika will be a big help, so you need to get some paprika, okay? So after adding all the seasoning, you can actually add more seasoning of your choice into this. Stir them and allow them to cook for 10 to 15 minutes. So guys, here our pepper is well cooked to the consistency that I'm looking for. I cooked them for about 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to off the heat and set that aside. So over to the beans. I'm trying to check if the beans is cooked. So yeah, as you can see, the beans are strong, so I'm going to put back the lid and allow them to cook, to continue cooking. So here I'm trying to check them again. As you can see, they are almost cooked. So at this point, I'm going to be adding the plantains that I'm using for this recipe. After adding the plantain, because the water was almost dry, I'm going to be adding a little bit water. Depends on the consistency you want your beans. Okay, so after then I'm going to be seasoning that beans again with some salt. The last crayfish, I'm adding it at this point. You can reserve them to add them at the later end. Okay, so half of the seasoning cube I used earlier, I didn't stir them. Okay, just put the lid on and allow that to continue cooking. So this is after a couple of minutes. The water is getting dry and the beans have arrived to the consistency that I want. So now it's time to add the pepper sauce. So after adding the pepper sauce, please gently stir everything. As you can see, I use water to rinse out the remaining sauce into my pan. Gently stir everything and make sure that they are well combined. Taste if the salt or the seasoning you added earlier is enough. If they are not enough, correct them at this point. So the reason I did not add this pepper sauce earlier is because if you add them early, your beans might get burned and you don't want to eat burned beans, tasteless beans. So at this point, I'm going to be adding a little bit more water, like a little bit water into the beans. Stir them and put the heat down to the lowest. Yes, to the lowest, guys. Just have the patience, because if you're cooking this on a high heat, your beans are going to burn. So here is after some minutes. As you can see, the water is almost dry but not dry. This is how I love my porridge beans. I don't like dry beans because when they get cold, the beans are going to absorb all the liquid. So this is why I don't like dry beans. But if you are the type that love dry beans, it's not a problem at all. Go ahead and make yours dry, but this is the perfect porridge beans for me. So now I'm adding the fresh tomatoes inside the beans. This fresh tomatoes is also optional, but you will see the difference if you actually add them. So I'm going to just press them inside, put the lid on and allow that to stay for 3 to 4 minutes. So after like 4 minutes or so, I'm going to gently stir the beans. Now the last thing I'm going to be adding that I didn't show you guys earlier is my crayfish. If you're wondering if I added pepper into this, yes, I added a little bit pepper. I don't want to I don't want too much pepper because my kids are having these beans as well. So the spinach is optional. Okay, it's totally optional. You can skip it, you can try it, but it also adds another flavor to your beans. So guys, this is the end of this video because I turned off the heat as soon as I added the spinach. I hope you give this recipe a try because it's really worth trying, and that fresh tomatoes added extra flavor into the beans. Give it a try, guys, and let me know what you think about it. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, share, and I will see you guys in my next one. God bless you all. Bye.